Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Okay, so we'll start off with Rolf and Kristen. And the reason why I want to sit there and start off with them first is because a couple of weeks ago, I made a video for members. And if you're a member, you'll understand why, when I did the video I did, why was it important to sit there and highlight this particular problem. So, long story short, Rolf created some sort of a drug or whatever that could regenerate body tissue, damage organs, things of that nature. Kristen wants to sit there and find a way to get Brady out of jail. See where I'm going with this, right? So she asks, hey, listen, could this work on a spinal cord injury? Sarah. He's like, theoretically, yeah, it could. She's like, okay, cool. That's all I need to know. Granted, they expanded this part of the episode way longer than it needed to be. I mean, 40 minutes for this episode. Uh, it, Sometimes the length of these episodes is just baffling to me. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I did a whole video on my issues when it comes towards putting somebody in a wheelchair just to bring them back out, just to find some sort of a miracle cure or something. And what do we have here? Dr. Roth comes in, the mad scientist, to give her some sort of cure so she can sit there and just walk out. Like, I'll go into detail more in my members video, but long story short, what was the point of putting her in a wheelchair just to get it right back out? It's I can see how it could be insulting. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. They've been doing this trope for years. They've been doing this trope before, long before I even been born, as far as soap operas is concerned. So they're not going to stop now, unfortunately. But the difference is that you have the internet, you have YouTubers that can sit there and talk about why is this such a problem. Why is it such a problem to sit there and actually keep a person in a wheelchair? What are you sit there saying to people that are handicapped in soap operas? Because you can clearly look at it and be like something is wrong with you. You're not, you're not like normal other people, or whatever. That's the message that is Smith they're sending every time you do a storyline like this. Now, after Holly and Tate break up, she goes by the pub. She starts crying. She sees Eric. She don't want no parts of Eric. And Eric is like, you need to sit there and talk to your mom. You need to talk to your mom. And, she wants no parts of her mom. She's like, she left me. She abandoned me. She chose to leave. She could have stayed. And this is what makes this whole thing, this whole story so problematic, that she's not there. And she's not there because of background drama. Well, not background drama, but because of drama with the show. And, she's pissed off. And then, she also blames Eric for their breakup. And I'm kind of just like, listen, I have no use for Eric. I really don't. But let's be honest. This isn't about Eric. This is about you and how you're handling things. This is about Tate and how he's handling things. This is about how Sophia and how she's meant to come in between your relationship. So don't sit there and start blaming Eric for this. Eric, you can blame Eric for a lot of things, but not this petty, unimportant, BS. Anyway, long story short, she does agree to go to Paris to go and see her mom. Because let's be honest, this is pretty much of a closure scene as we're gonna get since we don't have the actress back on the show. And while that's going on, you got Brady sitting there talking to Marlena. Marlena comes over there with support. And Brady's sitting there talking about how he still has his pull towards Kristen. Yeah, they had their issues and stuff like that, but he's still drawn to her. And he's also worried that Kristen's gonna do something stupid, something reckless, and he doesn't want that to happen. Plus, he still has that whole defeatist attitude of I deserve my punishment and blah 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 blah. Um, so that's going on. And Xander, well, Maggie's sitting there telling Xander to drop the vendetta since Brady is going to go to jail. So it's like you can sit there and put that behind and just focus more on Sarah. You are spending so much time trying to get Brady that, you know what I'm saying? So, like, she's like, you need to sit there and just kind of focus on your priorities. And he's like, he's also trying to look to try to find a doctor, a specialist, or whatever to help Sarah. But he has no luck so far. So then at some point, Maggie leaves and Kristen comes in. And Kristen's like, I have an opportunity for you. Well, not an opportunity. He was like, I have, something I want to propose to you. He's like, I can sit there and make sure that Sarah walks again. But the catch is, Brady has to go free. Which we all knew that was coming the minute that she walked into the office. The question is Xander going to sit there and accept it? Or is he just going to be kind of bullheaded about it and just be like, no, whatever. Either way, it is what it is. And of course, the last scene is with Tate and Sophia, which I talked about this lastly for a specific reason. She plays the whole, I'm sorry that you're going through this. Holly's being unfair to you. And of course, he kind of plays into it too. I don't want to sit there and say trash talking her, but it's like she's being so unfair and, she's only sitting there thinking about, her feelings and everything like that. She's not thinking about my dad or what I'm going through. And I mean, on some level, I guess she's not entirely wrong, but I feel like I feel that it's just so off-putting watching him trash talk his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, whatever, to a woman who, let's be honest, don't really like your girlfriend, has been doing nothing but plotting to get you, and you're just kind of just going along with it. I don't know. At this point, I'm like, we're just kind of stuck with this, and it is what it is. I don't enjoy it, but there's going to be a lot of things that I enjoy about different soaps and characters and stuff. So I've just kind of learned to just, bear and grin it, I guess. And all this scene really just kind of culminates down to is that she says that she has feelings for him and she kisses him and he's all like, I'm not ready for it, And, listen, he just literally broke up with his girlfriend like less than a half an hour ago and she's already practically shoving her tongue down his throat. So when she sat there and she's like, yeah, I know, I must be kind of pathetic. I'm like, you know, I don't like this woman. I don't like this chick. Okay? But it's like she has no self-respect. Not only is she sitting there throwing herself at a guy who clearly did not want to be with her, but less than a half an hour after they just broke up, she's so desperate to sit there and be with this man that she's practically sitting there being all over him. I don't know whose decision that it was to sit there and try to get this stupid love triangle going with these characters that are just like, but they definitely need to be fired. They definitely need to be fired. That's all I'm gonna sit there and say. This episode as a whole wasn't terrible. I do think that they could have probably trimmed it down. Like Robson, that they're talking and talking and talking before he got to the main point of what this, of, you know, the whole drug thing and everything. It would have been a lot better if they just would have got to that point, you know. And this whole thing with Marlena and Brady, I felt like they were Smith. They're basically saying the same things, just wording it a little bit differently. But I don't know why the time it just felt like it took forever to go, to get through this episode. And I think that's what it mostly was. I don't know. You watch the episode, you tell me. Like I said, I didn't think it was terrible, but they really could have trimmed it down a little bit. Anyway, I feel like that's pretty much about it. That might have been more, but that's the gist of the episode. If I missed anything, you know what to do. Right in the comment section, or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born the Beautiful, and Young and the Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.